What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back. In this video, we're going to be working on some of the interior bits. I said earlier I want to get some more aesthetic things done, specifically on the interior. I'm going to be doing the kick panels to kind of finish off the front footwell area for the most part. This is back on the road. Mentioned I messed with the choke a little bit, the adjustment. That seemed to work. The next day I started it up after it was sitting overnight. It idles a lot lower than before, so that's good. It won't be so embarrassing at truck-ins and stuff in the morning when I go to start it up. Like I said, it either idled way too high or I just had to try to turn it over a whole bunch of times without the choke just so it wouldn't idle high. But yeah, so far so good. I'm going to have to get back onto this, though. I got some high-performance white VHT header paint, so I want to take the headers off, paint them, and then hopefully fix that one exhaust manifold gasket, header gasket, because it's leaking a little bit at 55, 60 miles per hour. You can hear it, so I want to fix that. But yeah, I'll get back to this. I'll show you what I'm working with here. I took these off the doors to I call them nut coolers. I don't know what the proper terminology is for them, but I took those off for here. I'm going to just kind of right here, I'm going to make out a piece of plywood, just like kind of a little kick panel, and then I'll cover it with the crushed velvet I have, just to kind of finish this area off, because I look over here when I drive and it kind of bugs me. Eventually I want to cover this with like black Raptor liner, and probably same with this right here. I want to redo all this. I just kind of rattle canned it flat black when I got the van because it looked pretty roached. It's not rusted or anything like that, but you know, it was chipped up and stuff. But eventually I want to Raptor liner all of this black, and then bring the shag carpeting down to here, and then maybe get some, I think there's Zerk fittings, or not Zerk, riv nuts. I don't know why I said riv nuts, and get this so it screws down so it doesn't fall out every time you get out of the vehicle. But yeah, I took these off, cleaned them up, Scotch Brighted them. I'm going to make a template out of cardboard, and then I'm going to transfer that to a piece of thin plywood and stain it, and then polyurethane it, and probably screw it on here or either glue it on here. I just figure that kind of looks cool with the wood door on the, it'll be the crushed velvet around it, so I think that'll look good. I took this off. You just pry these little teeth off behind it to get this off. Hopefully I'll be able to get this back on, and then I might fix some of this gasket. Overall, it's not bad. Over here it's kind of funky. I think I have some left over from putting new gaskets on the side doors or camper, so hopefully I have some of that left. But yeah, I'll show you the steps along the way. I just kind of get some quick footage of me doing stuff along the way, and yeah, I'll keep plugging along. So that's the little piece of plywood that I cut out and stained. It's going to go on the door like this. I don't want to put it on there because the paint's still wet. I'll polyurethane this tomorrow, but I painted the door because I don't want anything that's not going to be covered with the wood or the crushed velvet to be shown. It was white before, so I figure the satin black will everything will kind of blend in better. This is the kick panel itself I traced out. I'll put it on, I'm going to copy it onto this piece of composite. This is kind of like what you would find on the back of a cheap entertainment center or something like this, but I found this works good for the oddball parts of interiors where you kind of need it to conform a little better. You know, the 1/4-inch plywood really doesn't take shape as you'd like around certain things, if that makes sense. So I'll get that traced out, cut it out, cover it with the foam, and then the crushed velvet. And then I've got some crushed velvet button caps that I'll use to cover the 2 or 3 screws that's going to hold that into the kick panel itself. And then over here, I did the same thing. I painted all this. I taped it off and painted all this black too. Same thing. I don't want, any white that was showing. I kind of want it all blend in. It's kind of like that over here is what I was talking about. Eventually I'll tape this off and paint it with the black enamel. But it should look a lot better. I hope it looks cool with the wood door and the crushed velvet. But yeah, I'm just trying to get certain stuff like that done before the Nationals. It's quickly actually approaching, and I'm just trying to get a little bit done every day. It's been 95 degrees out the last 2 days, and it's going to be like this the whole week, so it kind of sucks, but I got to get stuff done. You know, it's a slow going process. You know, I'm not an interior guy, so a lot of this has been done 2 or 3 times over. I'm learning as I go. I'd like to get the back doors to match those side doors, but I don't know. I'm going to push to get that done. I'm not going to be able to get this side done like it is over here, because that's going to take some time to plan out the bench and the wet bar and everything, and I want to do it right, you know. But yeah, I think after that I'll get the other side, the other kick panel done, and then I'm going to jump back on maintenance on both of the vans, because yeah, I'm just worried. It's a long trip. It's one of the longer trips, 6-7 hours. We're breaking it up in 2 days, so that should be a little bit more relieving as far as the stress goes for driving. I kind of get stressed out on these long trips with these old vehicles, but knock on wood, hopefully everything goes good. But yeah, I'm going to keep working on this, and we'll see how this goes. All right, so the door is put together. I screwed the piece of wood on there after the polyurethane dried. I just did one coat. But yeah, I got the door back on, or the little handle for the door back on there. It works pretty good, just like it did before, so that's good. I'm always afraid when I take things apart like that and I put them back together, they don't function like how they did before I took them apart. But yeah, I got that back on there. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And then I'll show you. I got the kick panel all cut out, and I got the foam glued on there. Next thing I have to do is cut that with the old electric turkey carver, and then I will I'll put the crushed velvet on there, glue it on there, staple it down, and all that stuff, and then I will install that, and hopefully it looks just how I imagine. So I also got this today. Got a brand new she was, Chevy Performance HEI distributor. I got this from Summit when I ordered the intake manifold gaskets, and I ordered new valve covers too. I don't think I'm not gonna do the intake manifold gasket. I'm just gonna roll the dice, and hopefully everything stays sealed for the trip. And then when I get back, I'll do the intake manifold gasket on it, and I bought new valve covers, like I said, so I want to do that. And I want to clean the intake manifold, clean the carburetor real good on the outside. I paint all the brackets I take off. I kind of want to do a nicer job on this. I always joke that my Dodge is kind of just a workhorse that tows my wife's trailer and hauls around engines and parts and dirt bikes and stuff in the back. And this is more of a show rig. So I'm going to try to class up the engine bay a little bit. I got these period correct radiator heater hose covers. I feel like that's straight out of the late 70s, early 80s show scene. So I bought those for my Dodge. I never put them on, but I'll throw those on there on the Chevy just because I got them. And then, I also want to get I think I'm going to try to get the AC going when we get back from the trip. At least throw a belt on it and put a charge in it. I don't even know if it's R12 or it's been converted to R34, but I want to throw a charge in it and see if I can get it going. It's all there. It's all intact other than the belt missing. So, if I charge it and I lose the Freon, whatever, I'm out of $80-$90, whatever it is these days. But I want to get it going because I could put up with the cruising around in the hot weather and stuff like that, but for my wife, I think it'd make it a little bit more enjoyable for her. Plus, we have the 2 long-haired Shelties you probably saw in my other videos and this video, And, you know, having AC for them that's kind of a must, at least during the hot days during summer. So, but yeah, I'm going to get back to covering that trim piece up with the crushed velvet. And when I install it, I'll take another clip and show it when it's all finished. So that is the finished product. I think it turned out pretty good. Hopefully the driver's side goes a little faster than the passenger side did. I have the template now for the crushed velvet and the the little piece of wood I added to the door too, although that's pretty simple. That's just a square cut, so that's not too bad. But yeah, it's cool. It kind of looks like a little stash spot, to be honest. We'll see if I ever get pulled over, if they look in there. But yeah, especially with the door closed, I think it turned out pretty good. You know, I'm gonna like I said, I'll eventually do all this with black Raptor liner, and I'm gonna redo all this right here. The previous owner did that, and I kind of touched it up too with some black spray paint. But once that's all done, I think it'll look really good. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's just the little details like that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'll do the driver's side next, and then from there I'll probably do the headers on the hopcap, and then tomorrow I'm going to install the distributor. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this kind of content. You know, it's not car show footage or truck-in footage, but as you can see, I got plenty of projects, and that's honestly why I started this channel and why I'm doing these videos. It kind of motivates me to get out here and get back on the ball. You know, I've kind of bought all these vehicles because I was in the right place at the right time and I couldn't pass them up. And yeah, I've just kind of fallen behind with things, and yeah, I'm doing it to motivate myself, and like I said, get me out in the garage and get back going. You know, I want to get this back on the road this summer. I'll tell the whole story behind this once I start working on this. And same with my Roadmaster. I blew a brake line on it, and I've got that fixed, and I started getting into the exhaust, and I want to get this back on the road this summer and enjoy it a little bit before I sell it. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys like this kind of content. You know, it's nothing complex or crazy. I'm not doing, you know, big multi-$1,000 engine rebuilds or projects like that. But yeah, for now, that's going to be about it. And I'll see you in the next one.